So I reckon what needs to be somewhere in your document are those thoughts about accountability. I don't know if you're going to write them down or you're going to, I don't know how you're going to do them, but what I want us to do for the next 10 minutes is you can either do it by yourself, you can do it if you're here with a pair of people from your school, or even if you're with people that are not from your school. Have a little bit of a practice. Think about a topic, not teaching and learning. Perhaps it'll be planning's no good because I've put that one up too. Think of something else that you may decide that you want to improve at your school. Write down a couple of dot points about what that might look like in our school, and then think about the accountability that might hang on to that. Just to get your head around the thinking that's involved in how do you go about making people accountable. Anybody come up with an accountability pearl that we might all benefit from hearing about?
We did resources and stuff.
Yeah, it'd be good.
We don't really realise.
Oh, well, we're just kind of tossing ideas.
It's sort of two things about resources that we have. One is that teachers have to have them and have to say, we don't have, so you have to say that, listen to people having, but they'll be in classrooms and that they will be, so the goal I guess is that properties are made available, encouraged, utilised.
Yep.
And we need kids using them and teachers modelling them.
Yeah.
I guess your non-negotiables are that they're available in the classroom, that there's some order about where they are and everybody knows where they are and they're used. That if there are common ones through a team, that they're housed accordingly. So that's what gets with that housing one.
Yeah.
You'd be looking for teachers are modelling them, so when you launch it, you're using them.
Yeah.
It's not just that the kids that are done use them, it's everybody uses them. So kids are encouraged to, and they're shown how to use them and how they're useful, and that they can use them during assessment.
That's good.
It's not just that you do them
during the lesson.
Teach them they're cheating.
If they're using concrete material.
You can scaffold anything with you. They know without any help. Then I suppose when you get the accountability level, it's bits, they might be the same, that there will be classroom visits and walks that they might be explicitly about. Let's look at this time, let's look at the
concrete material. Yeah, that's good.
Let's look at, we know that these sorts of things, why are they there?
Yeah,
kids use them?
that's good.
Do they know how to put them away? Do they know what to go and get?
Yeah.
Because they're doing this, and is it shown in the launch, and then are they encouraged? Some things provided at a more simplified level for those who need it, and the other ones the other level are extended and that they've got what they need. So do you want to do this?
That's good.
But they might come through in your summary times with kids. That might be an accountability that you can show at maybe a regular sharing time with your teams that you show how you're using them, and they're coming through your summary times. The kids are actually explaining how they do things by you showing different resources. It's not just the way they video sometimes what they know.
That's nice.
So they're actually sharing those things, and they're using the materials to do that.
Yeah, well, that's great.
And maybe another category is that you're actually asking the kids explicitly about resources, what helps with it.
So the focus on resources, through kid questioning. That's good, yeah. I don't know if I'd mentioned to you about a school that I was at where I was a bit blown away how exciting and yet so simple that the teacher didn't have the resources over on the shelf. She actually had a collection of the main resources on every single table in the room so that kids didn't even have to ask. There was an expectation that the resources are there and you'll use them as needs be. Yeah. And I always think hands-on and concrete material, in that I always include drawings for kids too, that when you're saying that some schools they won't let kids have concrete material during the assessment, my God, for me, the drawing stuff is like that would be in under the radar for people who don't see drawings as concrete material.
And can I just say the different schools we go to and we've travelled around a bit now, that whole organisation of the classroom business is so big, and the kids having ownership of the materials, knowing the kids are and being able to get them and stuff like that. So, I mean, for some people it's just basic common sense and they do it, but for a lot of people they don't. A lot of teachers don't have those organisational skills, and so, when you're looking at new mergers, new schools and new systems and new areas, it's really something I think that leadership or somebody's got to think about.
Yeah, that's right.
It's probably a non-negotiable.
Yeah. And I mean, the classroom culture stuff about kids, when you said that not just the dumb kids use concrete material, that's a classroom culture, isn't it? That as a teacher, even if I'm not going to put bundles of common stuff on the table here with the assumption everyone will use it if they need it, but even if it's over there, the kids aren't kind of frightened to ask me, can I use blocks? There's a classroom culture about you use whatever it requires for you to get the answer. That Guy Claxton, a person's intelligence is measured not just by what they know, but their effective use of their environment as well. It's fantastic, and kids, should be made aware of that. And we're all going to be led and listen hard to the people who have participated in some PD run by Patrick Griffin, because the AIZ schools are unique in that now everyone across the state, let me think that through, in that you have to use the Patrick Griffin assessment stuff, which he very clearly said yesterday is not the VCAA on-demand testing. I keep twirling around asking people, but isn't it the same? Isn't it the same? Patrick yesterday said once and for all, so I'm taking that as gospel, that it is not the on-demand. They're his special tests that were initially put together for AIZ. So that makes it interesting now, doesn't it? I'm thinking that the Zone 3 schools, every state in the northern region, they probably won't use on-demand tests anymore. They'll all be doing Patrick Griffin's tests. Now, sorry? Different results come out. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, that's interesting, because I know Lena had said that to me when I was talking to her on the phone about them. And have you pulled out those rocket diagrams and had a look at them in relation to the VELs? You can actually see a quite clear pathway through. You could label what levels they are, I reckon. I have, in fact. Just because I thought if it's not aligned to the VELs, that's very peculiar. Don't we need a progression from the beginning to the end? Otherwise, where are we going? Who knows? Okay, so we've got a smattering of people around the room. You can tell already I'm out here in the dark relatively about Patrick's test, because unless you're one of the schools, you don't get access to lots of the stuff. But give me some feedback, honestly, in this room between these four walls and this video camera, about how that works for you in relation to maths. I'm very interested in how the Patrick Griffin tests sit for you in relation to maths. Because when he was talking yesterday, he was talking from a literacy perspective. I've already said, for me, I'm not sure that we're doing the same thing on both places. Tell me how it feels. Feels nothing. Are you enthralled with it? Is it better than the on-demand? Is it the same? Is it giving you terrific data?
The first lot of tests were on demand. This round that we're doing this time is his new one, so we really haven't got feedback on his new one, but the one that we've had results on was the on demand.
It was through VCAR, but they weren't the on demand tests. They were progress tests.
Progress test, yes, sorry,
The on demand tests,
yeah.
But they're available through VCAR, so the first ones that are there.
Okay, Patrick's ones came through VCAR.
The on-demand ones, Suze, you could do it as an adaptive test.
Oh, I know the on-demand ones. Yeah, they're the VCAR ones though, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
the
Patrick's...
progress tests are not adaptive, they're linear.
Yeah.
So the teacher selects what test the child does. And it's the same 30 questions. Each child does that test.
Yeah, and so you can compare the whole grade against the same, which was always the issue with the adaptive test. The adaptive test, nobody quite knew what the kid had even done in order to come out with a 4.2 or something or other.
The actual data that we get is very limited, the information.
From the
rocket.
The rocket test, in what way?
Well, there's only sort of very small amount of statements, and the child could be in that range, so you really have to bring a lot of your own data as well, your own evidence, when you're identifying the child that you want to work on.
Okay.
So there's a lot of teachers bring a lot of, we've found we just couldn't go on that evidence. I don't know why.
Okay.